Welcome to an extraordinary journey through human history, as seen through the eyes of the everyday people who lived it. Chris Harman's A People's History of the World takes us from the Stone Age to the new Millennium, revealing the struggles, triumphs, and revolutions that have shaped our world. Stay tuned to uncover the untold stories of our shared past. Our journey begins in the Stone Age, a time when early humans roamed the earth as hunter-gatherers. Chris Harman paints a vivid picture of these early societies, highlighting their communal nature and the egalitarian principles that governed their lives. Imagine a world where survival depended on cooperation and shared resources. This chapter delves into the development of tools, the discovery of fire, and the beginnings of human culture. Quick question: ever wondered what life was like before the invention of the wheel? The next major shift in human history came with the agricultural revolution. This chapter explores how the domestication of plants and animals transformed human societies, leading to the rise of settled communities and the first civilizations. Harman emphasizes the impact of agriculture on social structures, trade, and technology. The excitement of new discoveries and the challenges of adapting to a settled lifestyle are brought to life in this chapter. As agriculture took hold, early civilizations began to emerge. Harman takes us on a journey through ancient Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, and China, highlighting the achievements and struggles of these early societies. This chapter delves into the development of writing, the construction of monumental architecture, and the complexities of early governance. Imagine the awe of witnessing the construction of the pyramids or the first written laws. Ever thought about what it would be like to live in ancient Mesopotamia? With the rise of civilizations came the development of social hierarchies and class divisions. Harman explores the impact of class struggles on early societies, from slave revolts in ancient Rome to peasant uprisings in medieval Europe. This chapter reveals the tensions between the ruling elites and the oppressed masses, and the ways in which these struggles shape the course of history. The urgency of these conflicts and the desire for justice resonate throughout this chapter. But how did these class struggles lead to social change? Stay tuned for the next chapter to find out. The expansion of civilizations led to the birth of empires, as powerful states sought to dominate and control vast territories. Harman takes us through the rise and fall of great empires, from the Persian and Roman empires to the Mongol and Ottoman empires. This chapter explores the impact of imperialism on conquered peoples and the resistance movements that arose in response. The excitement of conquest and the resilience of the oppressed are vividly portrayed in this chapter. The Middle Ages were a time of great social and economic transformation. Harman delves into the development of feudalism, the rise of medieval cities, and the impact of the Black Death on European society. This chapter also explores the cultural and intellectual achievements of the medieval period, from the construction of cathedrals to the flourishing of medieval philosophy. The challenges and triumphs of this era are brought to life in rich detail. Ever wondered how the Black Death changed the course of history? The Renaissance and Reformation were periods of profound cultural, intellectual, and religious change. Harman takes us through the key developments of these eras, from the revival of classical learning and the rise of humanism to the religious upheaval sparked by Martin Luther and the Protestant Reformation. This chapter highlights the transformative impact of these movements on European society and their lasting legacy. The modern era was marked by a series of revolutions that reshaped the world. Harman explores the causes and consequences of major revolutions, from the English Civil War and the American Revolution to the French Revolution and the rise of industrial capitalism. This chapter delves into the struggles for political and economic rights, the birth of modern democracy, and the impact of industrialization on working-class lives. But what sparked the flames of revolution? Discover the catalyst in the next chapter. The 19th and early 20th centuries saw the rise of capitalism and the expansion of European imperialism. Harman examines the impact of industrialization on global economies, the exploitation of colonies, and the resistance movements that emerged in response. This chapter also explores the social and political changes brought about by the rise of capitalist economies and the struggles for workers' rights. Ever thought about how the Industrial Revolution changed the way we live and work? The 20th century was marked by unprecedented global conflict, with 2 world wars that reshaped the political and social landscape. Harman takes us through the causes and consequences of World War I and World War II, highlighting the impact on everyday people and the movements for peace and justice that arose in response. This chapter also explores the rise of fascism and the struggle against totalitarian regimes. The post-World War II era saw the emergence of the Cold War and the process of decolonization. Harman examines the ideological conflict between the United States and the Soviet Union, the impact of nuclear weapons, and the struggles for independence in former colonies. This chapter also explores the civil rights movements and the fight for social justice in the second half of the 20th century. But how did the Cold War shape the modern world? Stay tuned for the next chapter to find out. The late 20th and early 21st centuries have been marked by the rise of neoliberalism and the process of globalization. Harman explores the impact of free market policies, the growth of multinational corporations, and the increasing interconnectedness of the global economy. This chapter also examines the social and environmental challenges posed by globalization and the movements for economic justice and sustainability. In the final chapter, Harman reflects on the ongoing struggles for a better future. He highlights the importance of solidarity, collective action, and the fight for social and economic justice. This chapter also explores the potential for revolutionary change in the 21st century and the role of ordinary people in shaping the course of history. Chris Harman's A People's History of the World is a powerful and comprehensive guide to our shared past. By understanding the struggles and triumphs of everyday people throughout history, we can gain insights into the challenges we face today and the possibilities for a better future. Ready to dive deeper into these concepts? Check out our next video on the power of compounding to learn how you can grow your wealth exponentially. Click on the end screen now and start your journey to financial freedom.